Cek. What's up? Let's go, guys. Wait. Aku apa? Yuhu.
Detonation focus me.
Yuhu.
Woo! Here we go, VCT Pacific. Now we got DFM and Global Esports kicking off our very first day of stage 1. We got Ryuji. You're showing massive improvement.
Welcome guys. Kita nonton dulu guys. VCT Pacific Stage 1.
And workouts, and we got two teams looking to prove what they're made of. DFM is looking fresh, very different looking than how they ended kickoff just 2 months ago.
Yeah, they're feeling good now. I mean, they surprised.
Halo Pew, halo guys, welcome guys. Watch party lagi akhirnya Valorant guys. Aku baru bangun, langsung menyelang. Jujur nih guys ya. Gue cuma bisa satu game guys, gue nggak bisa nonton T1. Karena aku harus abis ini kayaknya mau nonton apa sih, mau basketan sama anak motion.
He's finally here on Korean soil and he's really ready to join the rest of his squad here.
Anjay, GE udah lengkap nih squadnya, bos.
Is this the final piece to bring them to the top?
They started really strong in kickoff and they need to do so again here. A game against DFM is a game that you must win when you're talking about a round robin format. There can be no slow starts here or
Hello guys.
In the group later on if you want to make the playoffs.
And we do have two IGLs on both sides who are, I have to say, they are the stars of their squads. They've done so much for their teams. How do you feel they're going to be matching up today? Because we got our coaches, Northern Lights, and getting ready to go. These two teams had a lot of time to prep.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting how both of these teams call. I think GE will lean towards that more structured approach. DFM a little bit looser in how they play. Rewatching that game from kickoff, I felt like the calling from DFM was so on point, and that was a huge part.
Lotus Pearl Split. Apakah ada waylay, guys?
Continue that through to today, because if so, I think there's a world where they could look very dominant.
I think GE are going to show us another gear where they can see the lineup that they originally thought in the way that they planned it. They're not just going to have to rely on individuals making big plays, players like Papi clutching in those initial games, Udatan popping off on the duelist. We're going to see what this lineup was put together for, and is that going to be good enough to beat a DFM who started off the year so strong?
Now, you guys didn't seem very inspired by the map draft, I have to say.
It's not inspiring, they're not playing any of the new maps.
Tapi day pertama kurang gitu guys ya. Gak ada tim gede bro, Authority 1 doang guys.
With Patrick, who here things might be
Yoru, oke.
We've got a Yoru in this.
DFM masih main meta lama anjir. Meta Raje bro, DFM cok.
When they get to defense, expect a lot of trap plays off that side for utility. You have a lot of punish. Very different stylistic.
Kayaknya udah pakai meta baru guys, meta Amerika.
Stock standard, it's the old Gen G comp. You mix in the Vice with that. You've seen the popularity
Bang apa kok suaranya sih?
on defense of using the Arc Lotus to be able to
Ah, ini dia
aggressively
suaranya.
So I think for DFM it's a bit more of a standardized comp from them.
Oh, denger ya tadi.
Now, we didn't get to hear your prediction for Global Esports, Morgan. Why have we picked Global Esports today?
I'm a Patrick Who believer. I believe in the rematch curse. I just think
Now, to bring us through this, we got the Masters Grand Finals casters to take us through Lotus. We've got Achilles and Paperthin.
Hello, thank you very much.
First game-nya kurang banget ya Bang apa ya?
For that introduction, we're just a couple of guys. That's all. But anyway,
Biasa kan first game Paperrex, RRQ, siapa lagi tuh? Genji atau juaranya siapa yang main?
Pleasure to be back in the arena. Anytime we have a break, we're just like, oh, but you got any more of that work first? When's that gonna start again?
You got any more of that Valorant?
Because we like our job.
Bang, kemana lu?
Back in the studio.
Tidur ya?
Dive into the series, which is a very interesting one. DFM looking
follow,
very strong
guys.
during kickoff with the upgrades here. Global Esports, similar scenes, but now with their full original intended 5-man roster, this should be a hell of a clash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a lot to prove for both of these teams here today. You know, they squared up against each other once. During kickoff, it was DFM who won 2-0. Granted, the split was very close. You know, Abyss isn't in the map pool here for DFM, a map that they really relied on to get them some big wins. But I think if you look at this group, if you look at the way that this is going to shape out, in my mind, this is almost a must-win for both of these teams already.
Ini belum,
This group is stacked. This
ini
group
bukan
is
big
deadly.
match,
This
ini
group has
ya.
all of the
Enjoy, guys.
Pacific champions in it. Can DFM or GE
Enjoy, guys,
find a way to
karena
get in here, find a way to get themselves into the playoffs?
dua tim yang gak terlalu diunggulkan ya.
Alrighty, well,
Tapi kayaknya sih strength sih udah ada Patrick guys.
Global esports have not been the pistol princes that they have been.
Apakah Bang Mei masih mau carry?
It's been DFM who overall have looked quite good in that regard. Let's see if that's going to continue, if Global can start trending back in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, pistol rounds are a lot of, you know, hard reads or just, you know, maybe somebody pops off with the ghost, hits some heads. But they're so important right now in the Valorant meta, right? You're going to hear this all over the place that because of the way the economy works, because of guns like the Outlaw that are available, it's really easy to win bonuses. Maybe compared to Days of Old. A bit of a peek out there. Patrick who spots it.
But this is all just to try to keep
DFM masih main meta lama mulu ya, Cok. Males banget ya. Mati nih.
Waiting for his timing, sees the fake out. Clone, swing the corner, finds a headshot. Patrick who.
Polos banget Patrickku yang benar. Oh, tahu dia rotate, bro. Makan. Rotate lagi dari C lari, cuy.
Well, the good news for GE is they did sell this fake well enough. They kept 3 players from DFM on the other side of the map, so they're able to sneak their way through. Yudotan did take some damage, slowed up by the vines. Good flash.
Nice, dapat satu lagi Jinbung.
Boom, only able to find one. Kelly's going to be taken down. Prowler goes out. Scouts Crystal here in this position. They know he's behind the wall. Still does well to find that kill.
Satu lagi, bro.
Taken down by Art. He's caught off guard by Kelly lurking just outside of door. The falling though. That does leave Poppy now in a 1v2. Given what we know about this guy, he's absolutely capable of it. Spike, however, still dropped. Has to retap. Sets up the smoke. Inside the pile of this, a 2v1 facing towards Stream.
Hampir dapat Cok,
Gets it damn close, but it will be May.
Nice,
Go ahead and close out the pistol win.
Yeah, I think what I'm really liking early here from DFM on this defender side is they're playing for trades. They're playing to set up, you know, an early trap there is going to get GE to kill, but after that, it's just a lot of good working off of each other.
Kayak biasa aja bro, apa sih line-up-nya si ini, Cok? Line-up-nya si DFM guys. Agent lama bosen banget pakai race.
And that's encouraging. Teamwork for DFM. When they're locked into that mode, they can beat anybody on the planet. Saw it in the offseason, saw it in kickoff. This team definitely can be scary.
Kill satu setiap orang guys, kill satu.
Loadout. Every single player on DFM going for the rifle.
Not wanting to give him any kind of opportunity here. I thought maybe we would see an early save here from Art, not buy down, go for that Odin. It's an early, but Jinbung. And we'll just get a couple stray shots there, sensing a timing. As Yudotan similarly tagged up, Crystal dead.
B-nya sendiri banget tuh
guys. Odds of GE putting a dent in this DFM lineup at the moment, looking pretty unlikely.
Yeah, going to be very challenging to break through these defenses. Good read here early from DFM, good crossfires. Some really good util from Akame to make sure that some of those players trying to get through. A bit of a stun there, but GN right there. Oh, 3 kills for GN. Woo, that was snappy.
They're versus classics, but yeah, that was still very swift. Nice little pivots there from GN. And very clean round, flawless for the side of DFM as they start off Lotus 2-0.
Yeah, and again, I like that DFM is really playing for each other. God, that's good. And this is kind of what you're going to need for DFM if they're going to start making deeper runs, if they're going to start making playoffs, if they're going to, who knows, maybe make an international event.
King DFM nih boys, anjay, pelungkul King DFM kah ini?
Off of, you know, the rank servers essentially. He had played a little bit here and there, but, you know, May really vouching for him onto this DFM team. Had some rough matches for sure during kickoff, but we know that his mechanical skill, in theory, should be there. Just need to see him kind of integrated with this roster a little bit more. But with that Viper there for the side of DFM, I like this change up for GN.
Patrick udah habis coy, utilnya tinggal ini doang guys, drone. Ngeklon doang bro.
Individually in both his team, he can really cut off a lot of the map, keep GE guessing. Drone does get the spot there on a Jinbung.
Jinbung a little bit too early with that jiggle peek. As well, Crystal, I was going to say, door gets opened up. He's got line of sight. With that Outlaw in hand, able to find one. May just pull off a kill, but falls down quite low.
May tapi low.
Jin Shields taking him to a total of 35 as Spike going to be planted. Jinbung looking to try to scale off this, but he's already noted previously. And okay, distract on the door. The swing out from May, able to find one. Jinbung at the same time, finding Poppy before getting taken out by Kelly S. Seeing Patrick now versus 2, and Art will be the first to fall. May But just no HP to work with. Not going to be able to get it done. Robo will go ahead and deny a bonus conversion. He still suffers some heavy loss.
Iya, ini menentukan ke Paris betul, tapi dia lebih fokus ke poin buat ke champion juga, guys.
To find that flank angle and gets a kill with 10 HP. It's a really nice pickup there for him. Good early play through that door, kind of expecting the trap, have that outlaw ready to go. Shut the players down. Nice off angle for Barracuda. LAS able to work from up on top. Get that big kill. The IGL trying to hype up the squad. Get GE back involved. Getting close to some ultimates though. Kelly S only a couple away. One away for Barracuda as well, so should be able to potentially grab an orb. Get that Yoru, which is so annoying to deal with as a defender, especially on Lotus. There's just so many places that you can creep into.
Oh, GN, they just
lo tuh berdua ngapain, Cok?
Yes.
Polos banget, guys.
Really find that punish and save his comrades' lives. They end up getting taken down, bait out. Not able to find the thorn.
Kayak tim biasa banget ya, Bang, apa ya?
The pop. What is going to be the pivot?
Kayak nggak ada energinya, nggak ada kayak strategi yang gimana-gimana gitu aja. Satu take dua-dua TP anjir tanpa ada yang bantuin dari belakang. Kita berlima loh.
Elias pushing forward, peeking to waterfall, able to find one. Cage out, Jinbook just gonna disrespect that. It's gonna be the spike drop now here towards backside. Finds the follow-up.
Biasa aja anjir.
Try to keep them in the round.
Crystal doang nih biasanya yang carry kan.
All on Crystal. Looking for the first, finds it, the headshot
Mana
connecting
samping nih,
there.
bro. Teman ranking samping.
But eludes damage. 1v2. Still though, the salvos oraled away. The high-low setup, and they line up for him.
Kan gue bilang kan, yang carry nih, bro.
Clutch is Crystal. Gets the 3K and ties us up at 2-2. DFM. Oh, they're going to be kicking themselves after that.
No doubt about it. That's, I mean, phenomenal work here by Crystal. Really like to see this. GN again. Nice play there to find two. This round looks like it's done and dusted. Jinboon holding the back of the site really nicely. Finds an awkward timing where GE isn't able to kind of come at him at the same time. And that's huge. That's a bit of a positional mistake, in my opinion, on DFM, though. If you're going to run that high-low, there are those boxes in the back corner you can set up on.
There's a small bit of movement there. I believe it was Art kind of inching to the side. Getting a little bit more clustered together. Look, they're just trying to take their weapons away, flood out in towards rubble, but quickly pivoting back. Up here by May. One away from having that showstopper online.
But with those ults available for the side of GE, you almost
oh iya, ada 4 3 ulti, bro.
as DFM off the rip unless
mau Yoru sih sama stun nih, satu.
The front of like B or something like that, which is why
you're nanti kayak dipakai guys. Sayang guys, Yoru bandingan pas yang ada senjata, bro ya.
Weaponry, really thinking about trying to do something like that, but right now they don't have much information on the map. They're making a hard read that maybe it's A that GE is heading to. They haven't had much contact anywhere else on the map, but Art's about to get a rude awakening. Oh, just a pop of the wall, okay.
Top of the wall. Paranoia is still held there by Art.
Who's next?
Waiting this out is Mask gonna go on. Barracuda chasing forward, scouting things out, pings it, fault line goes through.
Ya, nggak dibunuh cuy anjing ngomennya.
Art does manage to slink away, but the side is opened up. GE now in control. 5 members strong. Versus the eco attempt here from DFM.
Sahabat nih, bro. Dayan, Benz atau Viral, bang? Benz. 6 man.
To try to get one of, if not both of the ults that are left in play for GE. The Armageddon and the Rolling Thunder out of their hands, if possible. See if they can make a go of it.
And Art's just in such a poor spot. Does go ahead TP across to the opposite side, but Poppy watching long sight lines here.
Ulti anjing dua.
Global Esports just wanting to ensure that they can gain the lead right here, right now. Not going to be a flawless here as May able to find two. Some decent damage dealt, but Crystal with the final shot. The Outlaw will be able to go ahead and clean things up. So an ult committed, but Global Esports now in the lead 3-2.
Iya anjir, pakai Stinger kill 2 tuh.
Iya anjir.
Making sure to pop that wall.
Tapi ini dua ulti buat Ikoron anjing.
Some attempts at hard reads there by DFM on the Eco.
Takut banget berarti, bro.
But you got the Rolling Thunder out. You used the Yoru ult as well for GE, so all things considered, not the end of the world. But you're going to start to need to string some rounds together. Crystal's double kill clutch. Looking to maybe be a difference maker here. As you do have the neural theft as well for Udotan. Of course, Poppy with his ult, but showstopper available for May. And he's just down, he's out.
Oh, wait, what a shot there. Barracuda just swinging forward. May clearly not ready for that. Ends up getting taken down. So showstopper not going to be a part of the equation.
Some good change of pace from GE to start this.
Oke,
Some different looks at Rubble.
lanjut. Patrickku akhirnya menembak guys ya, first blood ya.
They're going to take a bit of a pause, kind of regroup, rethink, try to see if they can convince DFM they're somewhere else on the map, but drone's going to go out. A Prowler from Akame as well. Now DFM trying to gum up the works. What a shot.
I mean, Jinbook's just out into the open though. Sure, he's able to find one, but he can't trade this back and get into
Oke, udah mulai tajam guys. Balas-balasan kill ya.
Now the neural theft going to be committed. Gifton revealing all is just looking for a little timing there on the corner. Kame here at backside, able to find one. The Haunt about to go through, knows that they're scaling forward rapidly, trying to get in on top of him. They know that he's stuck into the corner. The classic drawn out. Gifton will be able to find that kill. Gen now though, arriving both players so very low. 37 health between the two of them. The face out.
Ya.
Jan knocked down the 10 HP. It was looking like a very solid 1v2 position, now becomes nigh unwinnable. Unless he can really isolate and conquer here.
Mantep dia si Gen.
All the way into the back of the B site. Plant comes through.
Udah susah nih, udah susah.
Just a fault line to work with for Kelly S. Gonna play very far back. Use that waterfall position. Probably to fault line off a tap of the spike, and then him and Udotan can swing together.
So he'll know exactly where he's coming from as that trip gets cleared out. LES, the fault line at the ready. Time starting to tick away here. Tien looking like the call is going to be that this is not going to be a winnable round.
Tadi kata one tap sih bro.
Fault line does hit its mark, but he's just
Peres
going to
mintep
go
kah
ahead and
bang?
drift away from
Hari
the spike,
Minggu
which
besok
will
guys
erupt
Peres guys.
as Global Esports maintain the lead, stretching it by 2 rounds.
Yeah, this is starting to look a little rough for DFM. It seems like that one round kind of changed their destiny. It looked really clean early. Since then, they haven't really found those kind of timings, those moments where they're able to kind of play off of each other. Wow, that's a nasty shot from Barracuda. That's why you're bringing him in here. Be that duelist, be that entry fragger. Can kick doors in for you. GN there, that last one, he had a chance if his crosshair was just a little bit lower, but he was expecting the wide swing. Therefore, took a ton of damage.
Oke, Mei. Gwen, Mei nyala.
Out of that round.
Art seperti biasa guys.
Big ults, judge for Art. So, gotta be careful here as GE.
I mean, flashed up, kind of just all clustered together over towards the baby door here. Nakami can take it down, TP forward, up into the smoke. Patrick going past, able to find one. Art does finally strike that judge being put into play, but he's not ready for Udotan. And Mei, the crosshair is off center. And now, just Jinbo.
DFM jadi lebih burik begini, bro.
See if he can do any additional damage here in this round. Seems relatively unlikely as Global Esports starting to really run away with this opening half.
Kemarin pas kick-off mendingan bro, sekarang kayak burik gini guys.
This is a rough map.
Lotus,
the one time we saw it for DFM, they squared up against Gen G. Not going to quite catch the timing there as Crystal. Jinboong going to keep sliding away, trying to save this gun as best as he can, and GE knows it.
He is utterly surrounded though. Crystal now down here on the site.
Timing bro, anjing nggak lewat cok. Ah!
Bung just trying to stay as quiet as he possibly can. Oh, I think he spotted a pixel though. He has no idea. The Crystal's forward, but Crystal jumps up onto the box. Will not be able to stabilize the aim fast enough, but now there's blood in the water.
Menurut lo Paperrex bakal main kah? Kemungkinan belum. Tapi buat meta-meta dua inisiator bakal main guys. Soalnya kayak ada meta cuma satu duelis, 2 inisiator. Antara Something atau Jing di bench sih Pacific. Jadi main satu duelis, 2 inisiator guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense. To me, this feels like the protocols of DFM are starting to fall apart a little bit. They're getting flashed up, they're getting stuck by the baby door. And then when Art TPs forward, there's nobody there to cover those angles, to kind of watch the extra space that he's giving up by hiding inside of his own smoke. So there seems to be some problems, some disorganization from DFM. Going to need to try to work that out. On the other side of things, GE looks really clean. They're starting to kind of shake off some of that rust we saw in the few opening rounds. Since then, they've looked really nice. They're crisp. Their shots are hitting. They're playing together as a team very nicely. They're kind of keeping DFM guessing, other than maybe that last round where it was just a fight over rubble control. But I'm pretty impressed so far, especially Patrick He's hit some really good openers. Now it's been some good setups from the breach, but still, gotta like what you're seeing.
Yeah, and I think that was the big curiosity for a lot of people was how quickly integrated could Patrick get. Obviously was the the original five-man, the fifth man, the one that they wanted to have.
Gimana Bang Rio? Siapa jadi cadangan? Gak tahu, masih si Batman guys cadangan guys.
Was able to have Visa stuff sorted out.
Gak ada tiba-tiba Batman jadi main roster kayak belum deh.
With things click immediately for the team. So far here on the attack, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really impressed. And it's going to be sheriffs for the side of DFM.
Ketahuan.
They know exactly where he's at.
DFM gitu-gitu doang anjing.
The problem was they saw you the whole time.
Kelihatan.
It's like one of those plays where if they don't go that way, you're going to get that extra step ahead of them maybe to try to get a quick flank. But
that would have been great if all of Global Esports were blind.
Yes. Turns out pretty hard to play Valorant.
Yeah.
Patrick Mendoza, mana Mendoza siapa lagi?
You need to have the assistant coach run over and unplug the monitors real quick before the round starts. May though.
May nih bos, katanya bos. Kasih tahu May.
One of the best. I think there was that stat that if he gets over a certain amount of kills, like DFM just wins.
It's 17.
Oh, nama si Batman gue kagak tahu, bro. Oh iya ya, Patrick Mendoza, Batman, pantesan anjing.
Could catch GE a bit off guard. Yudotan did get a spot on it and pops it.
Berarti gue gitu aja kali ya.
In towards B. The pit was used by GN.
Rida, Ryuji, Ryuji.
Pretty easy to read for GE, you would think.
Kayak nama orang Belanda anjing, Ryuji.
See what they want to
push up through upper though.
Yeah.
Jinbung still checking down towards stairs now. Sights being turned back over into this direction. Yotan fading away, spots out that shoulder. Jinbung locked in position. At the moment. Second shot from Crystal will connect. Jin going to be taken down. It's Jinbung. Oh my God! Desperately needed the breakthrough there.
Mulai tajam nih kayak ini, mantap. Ini ya, FM jadi burik banget bro anjir. Kemarin pas kick-off kenceng loh dia. Rasanya bagus, sekarang kayak berantakan banget guys.
Some nice shots in the mix, but timeout call. It's going to be for the setup here on this round.
Really enjoying the way that GE is also integrating the Outlaw into some of these rounds. Like we've been seeing them pick it up against the Ecos to really not give DFM many options, many chances. If you're just holding those angles, watching it, it's going to be real tough to get that sheriff shot to go.
Iya, makanya cok.
Still sitting on a showstopper for, what is that, 3-4 rounds now?
It's been quite some time, and I thought it was going to be something we saw invested in the previous round, given that they also went for the pit. But not to be seen. Spot out there on the Jinbung Poppy, going to be being all the way here, well into the back, and Barracuda as well, just jumping out. Finds May with a shorty in hand. Crystal sends out the Armageddon.
Yoro Breeze itu haram anjing kalau lagi ulti guys.
Just held in a position to flash across. Barracuda on the swing.
You gotta save.
With a kill. I mean, yeah, DFM immediately have to save. The execution here from Global just far too clean. Everyone from DFM on the C site getting caught off guard.
Paperrex besok guys. Bener-bener ini cowok udah bener apa sih?
Seems like the timeout in the end not going to lead to a
nggak bisa nge-counter cowok takernya.
And you can see GE here adapting to a lot of the meta that we saw in Masters and in some of the later stages of kickoff with,
Metanya soalnya meta itu lah ya, diikutin cowok nggak beda.
You can get that alt, you can identify where May is, you can then call in Crystal's Armageddon right on top of the majority of DFM. Kame and Art, okay, gonna get a couple, not gonna drop the guns just yet.
I mean, but in the end, you just need to hold on to these. Nothing else to play for other than their lives. Ults are online. Global obviously have a hell of a bank. As Kame looks to try to hold the door, Art will be able to find that second kill. Poppy on the chase. TP across, back into the A lobby. And in the end, Art will be the lone survivor, but Global Esports now up 7-2.
Yeah,
and kembalinya Patrick ngaruh. Pasti ngaruh.
Really well, and DFM is not. In terms of, frankly, the way that they're cycling their ults, the way that they're combining some of their util and things like that, whereas it doesn't feel like DFM has like any kind of comfort with when they want to use the pit or the showstopper or some of their ults to kind of try to turn around, try to get something going. Instead, they're the one playing on the back foot. Of course, it's the attacker side.
Juga biasa aja sih,
I get it. It is generally the stronger side of the map.
Jago tapi
I'm
biasa aja.
seeing some of the ideas and adaptations from DFM that you would like to see. And it's like they're trying to hide the showstopper for like a big moment instead of just maybe using it to take rubble control, change the map a little bit.
Now you've got a second breach ult built up here from Kelly S. It's everyone stood up around this A site. Could be a pivot in towards B where it's just coming for the moment by himself.
Kita mainnya ngantuk banget lagi.
Going to look to try to explore this space here, make sure.
Apa gara-gara gue baru bangun guys ya?
Maybe even cause distraction for the rest of the team as they
Baru
get ready to
bentar,
attack.
Cok.
I mean, Akame's in a difficult position potentially. A pinch being set up here by GE towards B.
Face on with the first, he's able to find Crystal. Thinks about the Prowler. And maybe a potential timing here as Poppy is able to find one. On the reswing, able to go ahead, picks him off. Checks for a little bit more, Haunt now destroyed. As the showstopper into the corner, gets the spot out, Yutan gonna be blown to smithereens. Inshell down onto the site. Coming with a re-peek back in from main, will be able to clean it up. DFM.
Akhirnya dapat angka juga guys, DFM guys.
The win streak as they give themselves a third round victory.
Yeah, this time around the timing there, I thought Akame might be just screwed. But instead, him and Art are able to find that timing to get ahead of the crunch attempt by GE. Find a couple big kills. Got the Nightfall online, threw it out there. Art doesn't get the immediate trade off that Nightfall, but that's okay. Akame's good for it. Now you can finally use that showstopper, clear the corner, paint shells to clear the site. And then that is going to be a much needed round win. If you can make this 7-5, that's okay for DFM, honestly. If they can win these next couple, okay, you drop 7 in a row, big deal. It was defender side of Lotus. Definitely recoverable. A lot of attention now.
Aku mau bertarik-tarik, rambutku pun kan dalam hati.
Once again this time.
Dapat lagi kah? Dapat lagi kah guys? Oke, tidak jadi guys. Ya, satu round doang guys.
They just give line of sight over and Global just hit every single target.
Yeah, it just felt like trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit was DFM.
Kalau clutch,
gue beliin.
Rumah. Kayak yakin gitu gue bro.
Gives him the bad news. Akame falls. Global now look for a 9-3 scoreline at the half.
Yeah, and some of these ideas that GE are implementing are very reminiscent of some of the stuff we saw from DRX at Masters. Some of these double TPs, aggressive positioning.
Dia smoke ditembusin, kayak polos banget bro, sumpah.
Kind of keeping DFM a little bit off balance.
Utilnya jelek banget guys, sumpah guys.
Make sure that no more further damage can be done. But yeah, the tempo changes from GE really nice.
Karena ini kali ya, karena agent standar banget kali ya.
A lot of variation in what GE can bring to the table.
Pakainya kan ini pakai Fate anjir. Orang udah pakai Tejo sama Blitz kan, orang dia masih pakai Fate.
And a judge for Art.
And Yudotan, jeez, is able to find the shot. Art a bit too slow now. That neural theft once again telling all. Pivot getting ready to come through. Looks like DFM does have the right read. They're starting to go for the pivot back over to A, but then they rethink it. Who's next? Double peek back in from Waterfall slows up the reapproach here from Jien, who would love to be in position a bit faster, given that he just has a judge. Excuse me.
I don't know if like an elbow stuck through that smoke or something.
I know your name stands for guided missile, but guided bullets that's just unfair. Akame doing his damnedest, is able to find a second.
Ya lagi reload bro.
An opportunity, but Crystal's still here. Both players pushing in from his angle. Drone gonna be sent out. Akame trying to keep them all held at bay. But there's the rolling thunder. Akame has fallen. Right now it just feels like Jien has no hope in hell.
No time.
Both players just stuck back at tree. The time is ticking away. Just no real opportunity.
Gini, bro,
trying to go of this one. A triple face finds the first and will end up falling 9-3 at the half. Global Esports.
Udah pakai meta Amerika soalnya, udah enak. Mau map apapun kalau pakai Yoru, Bridge sama Tejo udah enak banget guys.
Gubernur ke KM-nya ada bang?
Iya dia ke Apex. Barang si Fluorescent dia. Ya siapa tahu dia bersinar di luar ternyata. Di Talon kagak soalnya.
Bahasa Inggrisnya bagus juga ya?
Bagus bahasa Inggrisnya mah. Dia orang Amerika, dia Amerika kan lama di Amerika.
Kind of alt scaled, alt rotated, you know what I mean? Like it's just everything.
Udah bosan kali guys balik ke Asia guys. Pengen balik ke Amerika dulu katanya.
In just about every aspect.
Nah, tinggal defend doang nih guys. Defendnya tinggal retake sih kalau misalnya nggak bisa ada nge-hold.
There you go. Yeah. Caught off guard by the music here for a bit. Sounds like we're in a early 2000s like knockoff Matrix style film.
Yeah.
Shots of the action hero walking down a sidewalk or something like that after he just killed a bad guy.
It kind of does, yeah, a little bit, yeah. I could, if they would throw this in the Matrix soundtrack, I wouldn't be shocked, yeah. Or like, what was that Christian Bale movie?
Berkali-kali.
Remember it?
Is it called like Ballistic or something like that?
No.
Which Christian Bale movie?
The one where he's like got like the guns and he's like doing all this like martial art gun stuff. Remember that
I know
one?
exactly what.
They had like the white like trench coat or whatever. What was that called? It's kind of
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. There it is. It's kind of a weird movie.
I thought it, but I'll admit I did.
Oke.
Drill, they're playing off of each other nicely.
Bisa bahasa Inggris ya bang. Makanya mau siapapun kayaknya bisa sebenarnya, tapi basic doang, makanya susah guys.
Alright, well, pistol round.
Pindah tim.
At the opener, went the way of DFM, but Art, just as we jump into the action, dead immediately. We'll be calling here from beyond the grave.
I mean, they're still trying to take that space. Jinbung trying to create some attention towards the other side of the map, but to me, DFM is looking like they're not exactly sure where to go. Ooh, Udotan had a chance. Went for that moment after getting the tag with his util and thought, see if I can catch him a little bit
masuk
off
Adarki
guard.
pengen berikan Adarki ya, Adarki belanja terus guys, mantap guys.
Life, in my opinion. They're gonna try to go this way. I don't think
They have no information about Poppy.
exactly. They pinged the spot, but do they think that's where Udotan went?
For now, Udotan on the third attempt will be able to find it. Jinbung going to be taken down. 2 players lost. Some decent damage onto the lineup here.
DFM kenapa cok? DFM begini yang bisa ngalahin Paperrex najis
not
banget.
quite yet in their hands.
Woi,
May
Mei harus bang, ini Mei doang nih. Tunggu cok.
A site opened up a bit.
It's tripwire.
Time, starting to dwindle.
Lihat cok, ini lagi burik banget mereka cok nih.
On that beat, finding one. Jin take it down. Akame does get into a position to go for the plant. May is instantaneous with that headshot. Poppy, however, arriving, interrupts.
Tapi winnable sih lo 3, lo 2.
On the floor, 12 seconds remaining. It's May, sends out the paint shield, trying to buy himself some space. Gets drawn off of the plant. Challenges in for a fight, but he's just out of time. He'll find the kill. But surely, it is just too late. Off by a hair. Global Esports just steal away the pistol round.
But again, it just feels like DFM is a bit lost. The coordination, I mean, the call is to spread the map, but really they're lost on the positioning of where GE might be, you know, almost getting caught out trying to go for an orb. And then when you push into the site, you're not expecting 2 to be there. You kind of just read that it'd be a solo hold from Udotan. You know, you're only showing the Vice yourself, so you're just kind of like, okay, it's lurk player versus lurk player. Let's see what we can get done. Let's see if we can catch him off guard, but GE not fooled in the slightest.
You know, see the buy down. Still not even.
Lawan DFM begini ntar ketemu Paperrex lagi, pedes nih liat nih.
Full armor there. Otherwise, 2 stingers, 2 sheriffs. And Art's going to be glass cannon. Not much of a cannon, I suppose. It's a stinger.
It's a mini cannon. I mean, in the hands of, you know, G2.
Itu 2 tim doang ya bang, yang masuk PCT Master Toronto. Ya, enggak 2, 3 kalau nggak salah kalau Master.
For sure.
3.
Just a walkabout behind.
Ini mereka ini ada di leaderboard apa nggak sih?
One you'll see that cuts up towards A site.
Ada lah harusnya,
All
ada.
the Cypher util is here. Kind of slow things up, and you just got a huge stealth drone over at C, past mound, almost into spawn for GE. They know full well that this is A.
Elias already here.
Udah ready aja nih. Udah masuk di stun. Dibunuh Patrickku udah.
Haunt does get a reveal. Patrickku noted by that is Art pushing forward, goes for it. Swinging on the corner though, but it's just far too slow. And Patrickku backs across, finding him now, spraying wildly into the smoke.
Mau ngapain dalam smoke begitu? Lihat. Ih, apain sih coba?
2 remaining players absolutely tagged up. Akame has been doing well to find some frags, but it's just not going to be enough.
Bisnis main siapa? Bisnis T1.
GE now up to 11. DFM once again broke.
Yeah,
T1.
Composition. They're playing it
Tapi
extremely
tapi
well.
nanti Djeta juga gitu kayak biasa banget.
The util a little bit there, getting the info.
Djeta nggak ada perubahan kan?
That's a
Ada
huge
perubahan
advantage
sih?
in these compositions as well that GE is
Nggak ada kok, nggak salah deh.
abusing. You know, for DFM, it's a lot of trying to obscure where you're going. You're trying to use this double controller
Karena
comp.
DFM mantai Paperrex. Makanya, Cok.
Keep GE guessing.
Kira udah
whereas
berubah,
GE has a
Cok,
lot of
di
tools to
FM,
deal
Cok.
with that. They've got
Tapi
the drone, they've got the Cypher util.
makin
So they can
terpuruk
get
anjing
ahead
gitu.
of the curve. And DFM has not found great answers. The THOR utility so oppressive to control space as well. Not just with the stealth drone, but obviously with the salvos. You know, and then you see it where DFM's stuck in these bad spots. They can use salvos to flush them out, get the kills. Really well
Aku
thought out,
ngantuk
really well prepared by GE.
berkali-kali.
Util exchange outside of C, but everyone unscathed here for the moment. Once again, trying to scale forward over towards this A site a
Nah,
bit.
coba lihat pearlnya lah ya, pearl yang kemarin pedes-pedes itu guys. Lihat ya
Just
pearlnya
behind the
sih.
box, Poppy out wide, ensuring that there's no one working their way over towards this C site.
I'm not sure how much that camera can see.
Salvo's now back online. The drone to lead. Crystal getting a spot there. Jinbung is going to be
Lu lagi puasa
bouncing
bang?
away.
Enggak?
Comment looking like he may be sticking around
Ngantuk
a
banget Cok,
little
anjing.
bit longer, but eventually the call will be to pivot everyone. The full forces of DFM getting gathered up here, ready to attack onto the A site.
Might be a pivot towards B if they can break through, but isn't that after
Udah mainnya
Kaos
lama,
slowed
tapi
down?
dia nggak ngelerk boleh bro.
The pivot here. Patrick now for the moment alone on the site, now dead. Swing out Yudotan looking for a little bit more and does nearly find himself a second
Bener
elimination
nih,
there.
Standar bentar lagi nih.
Shots through,
Standar
looking for
lagi nih.
Jinbung, trying to fish him out through that wall, but can't quite find it.
Sakit
Spike is
banget
planted,
Mir.
Salvo's too late to get the interrupt, and Art now a deep flank
Ini
around the
orang
back,
breathing
just
daripada
that sheriff in
factory.
hand though. See if this plan comes to fruition. We'll be going down through the stairs. Should be able to catch a timing here on to Kelly S. The shots are noted, and now he strikes.
Tuh men.
Bulldog picked up, but it looks like DFM a little bit more fight left in them.
Masa-masa lagi bang, kangen bang. Nggak
The time
ada
is
guys.
not
Siap,
gonna be on
belum
global
guys,
side.
belum
Tap
nanti ya.
with the Spike defuse, just trying to see what they can bait out any peaks here. But in the end, DFM just not really giving them anything to work with. So GE, 2 players will save. DFM will hang around here on Lotus for a little bit longer at least.
Yeah, this round, some good calling from Art and DFM. Able to kind of push forward, kind of take their time, keep GE guessing a little bit, show some
gini gua
thought
tadi tidur
about
aja guys
setting
ya.
up that B crunch.
Kayak jam 5 gitu kan enak.
But it was actually all just trying
Iya,
to
pas T1 aja
open
ya,
up a little
baru
bit of
bangun.
extra space towards A.
Gaji.
DFM's able to capitalize on it pretty quick there. May on point with the Guardian.
Jepang orang udah
DFM
watch party
fans
langsung.
over in
Padahal
Japan,
baru match
cheering them on,
pertama aja.
hoping that they can string some rounds together, maybe get a little bit of confidence at the very least.
Lingkang guli waca
Mostly by up here.
lingganggu.
Still Guardian held over.
I think there's some hope. Bring a
Absolutely.
couple rounds together, extend this map a little bit longer. The analyst just walked back in and sat down, so that means that now they will have to, you know, wait for 20 plus minutes for the
Bang,
segment to
Paperrex main
start up.
kapan? Gua nggak tahu.
Overtime,
soalnya.
please.
Paperrex main.
Be a hell of a turnaround here.
Besok Perek.
May's one away from a showstopper. This could funnel this orb to him. Again, it's more
Habis
about
WP,
confidence
Palo,
at this
nggak, Bang?
point for DFM.
Gua mau main basket
Sure, of
ini.
course.
Habis ini.
Oh, mau main
We're able
basket.
to run it back and get a win, that'd be great, but that's very, very difficult no matter who you are. And just getting those rounds, you know, we saw it with T1 where you get blown out of the first map. Sometimes just those few extra rounds at the end will kind of carry over into the next map. They're not, they did get the orb. Okay, they do have the showstopper for May. So can at least clear space that way. You can see B site left
Rugi
completely
Mei kalau main di
open.
Jepang aja Mei,
Trying to set
sumpah
up a
Mei.
bit.
Ya lo kalau kayak masuk tim kayak
Let's
Paperrex,
see. A lot of util sent that way.
Tier A,
But
wah
GE's
udah
already
sih
there,
menyala
so-
banget pasti.
Thorn's thrown, destroyed. Thorn's thrown, destroyed. May be slowed up here.
30 seconds left.
None of Global going to be nearby, immediately evacuating as soon as they hear the showstopper draw out. Checks the close corner. Crystal at the same time.
Come
Able to
on.
find one is Kame going to be taken down.
Mati ya Kame itu bro. Ya City. Dah, 1-0 guys.
Swing on with the corner, but now default plant coming through DFM.
Oh,
Spike in play. Kelly S lurking around the back. Art once again
Kedengeran.
trying to go for this lurk timing here. Flash not going to connect. They look to double face. Now he knows that he's in a bit of a bad situation, but cannot run away. Faces back in.
Spray badannya mati
A
guys.
little bit of damage there onto the enemy breach, but kill cannot be found. GN flashed up, tucks back. The Salvos flying towards him, looks for a little bit more. May with covering fire, helps to try to keep him alive. Fault line gonna be flying out, and they're all lined up as Kelly S They'll pick up a 3K and get global up to map point.
Yeah, and this is really good stuff from Kelly S and GE.
Okay, nice.
Quickly identifying that Art was going to be lurking somewhere, and they're really diligent about making sure that he's dealt with, because he was hiding over towards and they were already kind of thinking about pushing in towards pillars, yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
But I really want to give a lot of credit to the immediate adjustment here, and that shows a lot of great preparation, great understanding, on the fly thinking. And it's going to be another final timeout, I'm assuming from DFM, to try to see if they can get some more rounds, get something going here on Lotus, but it's tough.
Gue pengen bahasnya pakai baju Paperrex-nya kali ya?
A few round wins that we've had from DFM, very much separated. Nothing really consecutive aside from the start of the series, that pistol into the anti-eco. Should be a very calm, cool, and collected little chat here from the side of Global Esports. Miley just telling them, keep up the good work.
Apartemen tuh jago
Patrick, who's having fun? First time on the stage.
Dulu kalau dari track record gak sepedas itu ya.
Dia sebelumnya main di tim mana?
I like what you're seeing.
Tapi dia mainnya di apa sih? Full sense kalau nggak salah ya. Terakhir di tier 2 tapi.
Joining a couple other Filipino players
Tapi ngelihat apa ya? Ngelihat dia kayak stream kemarin sama si Jing gitu lumayan main inisiator ya. Sering-sering top rank juga. Pas streaming.
Trying to find a way, like you saw in the intro video before the game started today, that DFM knows, they're cognizant of the fact that a Japanese team hasn't made a Masters in a very long time.
Harusnya sih guysnya namanya Paperrex guys ya. Paperrex kan tim yang scoutingnya bagus ya. Kayaknya nggak mungkin deh mereka sebodoh itu kalau nggak jago guys. Nggak mungkin ngambil player biasa aja gitu. Gua rasa dites dan ternyata jago dan skill utilnya bagus gitu. Soalnya kan inisiator guys. Nah, Naos salah. Pokoknya dia tim tier 2 aja.
To get up on top of the box.
Dual bang.
Lude's taking damage and comes away with that elimination. So Seaside for now in control here for DFM. Have the spike plan. We look for a little bit more. Nightfall's going to be sent out over towards Waterfall at the same time. Patrick Koo puts a mask on, goes sprinting forward, identifying two players over towards this water bend. Paranoia crashing across. Gian, however, to win out the fight. The flank is noted, but he still comes away with that kill. Patrick good for one now at 4v2. Selber by a little bit more time, but with 45 seconds remaining on the clock, and GN still backstabbing. This round
ini mulai rapuh guys. Woi, kayak closing nggak sih lama banget.
A miracle from Poppy, something that he has delivered in the past. There should be DFM clinging to life. Slow push forward, finds that first. And he got the transfer onto a comment. You start believing, but still some losses suffered. The money's not in a good spot for DFM, but they critically get the round win.
Yeah, they're able to win a huge opening duel there, not suffering any casualties. And GN, this is really important stuff that he's winning these flank battles. Kind of a little Munchkin-esque there from GN, playing the Viper on Lotus, holding that flank. Because if he gives over that kill to Kelly S gets the Rolling Thunder, and that could be a very different round very quickly. And you can see there that, trying to use that Yoru ult to set up for that retake. If you could find that one kill, get another ult going, just end the map right then and there, but DFM's GN comes up big, keeping the B site lurk under control.
Nyantai dulu kawan.
He's going to be leading the charge towards A, and
lagi santai kawan.
They've seen enough. DFM's like, yeah, we're not going to contest the C side this time.
They've solved the riddle.
Wah, aja lepas kah? Ayo lepas.
Drifts over towards the correct side of the map, so no util, no nothing here for Global on this A site. There's going to be at least, by the looks of it, a 4-man push.
DFM meta pada umumnya pakai Viper.
Just smoking some salvos.
Iya, makanya kayak meta lama, old meta ini. Tapi agak susah old meta, bosan soalnya.
They'll be more than willing to pull the trigger on these ultimates. There's not a full push across
the bareng keluar yang 4 ya?
The player's still going to be locked down here for the moment.
Ntar DFM nggak diisi ini.
Paranoia dodged out there by Jin, able to drift away from it.
Mantep nih.
Duar. Right before the flash connects, Jin. Taking Patrick Koo's head clean off the re-swing out here, and that's just going to be them lining up. 3 kills here for the side of Jinbung. Kelly S all on his lonesome. Looking back over here towards stairs. eventually will fall. Flawless round for DFM.
Kayak
Much
bakal
needed.
comeback guys.
As it's 6 to go, 6 tries for Global Esports to bring this map to a conclusion.
Yeah, and again, this is about confidence here for the side of DFM, and some good reads from Art in the last couple of rounds. This one again, the only util that was used off the rip by GE was a smoke in the salvos, and that was enough to kind of let them feel a bit more confident. You know, obviously GN not receiving any contact, any resistance at all on the A side at Rubble also made it a little bit easier. Kind of lean towards that direction, going up against that eco. This time though, the Rubble control will be contested. Art,
absolute lunatic.
Yep.
TP's forward, he's here within the smoke. Kelly S just watching, waiting for the exit. It's like Art wanting to just try to wait and see. Where the dissipate, but the timing, the bait on the Prowler is actually gorgeous. Very well set up. Kelly S on the floor once again. That rolling thunder not going to be utilized here in the round.
There's method to the madness for Art this time. Great combo again. Reminiscent of some of what we were seeing early on for DFM. And a bit of a spread now for GE, but they're really leaning towards B. They seem to feel pretty confident because Yudotan has been watching Mound and hasn't really seen much. They can lean in this direction. Poppy right around the corner, gets identified.
Jump forward here, May. Despite being
Nggak, mati nih,
caught up in the
abang-abangannya
tripwire,
mati
still
nih.
able to find the shot. Crystal finding it, the trade there, but Jinbong is catching Yudotan, a bit of a linger. Dead at the door switch. As now the C site wide open. And for Patrick and Crystal, there was no other recourse but to sit back and save.
Yep, 100%.
Oke, mulai guys ya, mulai trolling ya. Oke.
Nothing else to do there.
Game lama yang mengantukkan guys.
Iya, betul. Saya sudah menutupkan mata saya ini.
Saya juga, ini saya baru bangun padahal ini kurang tidur gak nonton ini, tapi kenapa gamenya seperti ini ya?
And then May just sending it in for the cause.
Aduh, pusing tayo.
To break open enough space on the map to get the plants and win the fight towards C Mound. Good to go. So DFM starting to kind of work the map a little bit, starting to get some good reads on this GE defensive setup. Gotta wonder if, you know, sitting on two.
Tapi defense GE susah sih dia.
Pull the ripcord on one of them.
Gak susah emang.
Yeah,
dia gak ada Viper soalnya, hold-nya susah.
You know, two right. We'll see if anybody else really.
Ada apa sih? Apalagi ada race ya kan? Repnya hancur kalau di bom.
Two rifles carried over.
Paperrex yang pertama lawan DREAMCORE guys, berat guys.
See if they opt to go forward right here, right now, or if they maybe
lawan ini lawan King Yunmin anjing.
Purchase. Either way, I don't think that they would mind it too much. DFM now winning 3 in a row off the back of their own timeout, but it seems like the timer is going to continue to tick down.
Okay. Showing some trust. I mean, in general, I've been super impressed with Kelly S on this map.
Sampai comeback sih kesel ya, sampai 12-12
has been really, really good. He has mostly been ahead of the curve. So
also want the team to be able to make these pivots and, you know, suss things out on their own.
Gondrong doang, nggak jambret.
Especially now that you've got a new player coming in, you know, you want to get them comfortable with each other, being able to communicate in the heat of the moment. 100%, I like it. Oh boy.
Looking for a bit of a crunch play here. 3 players still on the approach from Mound. Jan some shots through the smoke to just try to fish for anything that he can get. Flash over, does connect. Patrick
nice! Nice!
With a headshot onto
gila, berani banget cok, keluar smoke itu bang apa anjing?
Away from him, rolling thunder. Gonna be dodged out, but the spike is absolutely stranded.
Pintar banget,
So
dibet.
deep into the spawn. And this is noted.
Ada ulti nggak tapi? Nggak ada.
Is this how it ends? Is this how this map comes to its conclusion?
Ada ulti sih.
Pede banget cok anjir, ada recon, ada smoke dimasukin anjing, dikeluarin cok.
So you can
cuman keluar pakai flash doang nih.
Already holding.
Ada ulti
There's still some time. GE doesn't need to move a muscle. Just need to hold their angles, and instead they're going to double up on this B push. Try to see if they can take Poppy out.
Buka step dia.
Waktu kayaknya.
Trying to make some noise here. Jinbong eating a bit of damage. Kelly has 5 HP, but on this deep line of sight angle. As the swing out is good. Just like that, Global Esports will show why they did not need the timeout.
Iya, dari tadi lah kayak gitu, bejir.
Saya buka museum dulu kalau gitu, museum. Sambil santai kawan. Buka museum dulu kawan.
Lagi santai ini kawan.
Kemarin lu kemana bang apa? Gua ajak main. Nggak ajak main sebenarnya, nggak tumben nggak muncul lagi mabar.
Di mana bang?
Kemarin kagak muncul lagi main. Halo.
Oh, kemarin gua nongkrong Mario.
Oh iya nongkrong ya.
Baru balik jam 3 pagi anjir.
Buset.
Terus gua cek VAR kan. Mario follow aja ya. Ternyata iya anjir. 2 jaman. Tapi lu nggak sama Claude. Sama si Nawi dan pacarnya.
Claude nggak ada ya, cuman Claude telat. Awalnya sama si ini kan, sama si Calvin.
Oh.
Terus sama si temannya si itu kan, si Aluka, si Bet, temannya si Bang gua apa.
Ada pacaran Nawi kan itu? Iya.
Iya, ada. Jago juga ya ternyata pacaran Nawi ya.
Iya anjir. Ceweknya 3000 jam Apex anjir.
Pantes anjing jago banget, gue bilang gue kaget sih main. Oh anjing jago juga diem-diem cok. Saragario. Salah bro. Bakal coba enjoy nggak bang? Bakal main malah guys. Cuman gue nggak dapat early access, jadi gue harus tunggu tanggal 28. Untungnya
bumi masih berputar.
Yes, attached through marketing. Oke, untungnya hidup lagi menyerah. Marketing office. Track 15 guys through marketing. Tes 15 guys through marketing. Install a perk. Oke.
Hmm. 200 tetap M yang MVP bejir. Oh enggak, dia nggak kame nih. 241 ACS.
Tarat. Kamera room. Anjing, level 15 bro, buset.
Kelly S. Ngikutin Kenny S dia nih.
Emang iya.
Enggak tahu.
Udah cepet.
Sama
Yoi.
kayak Kenny S ujungnya S-nya gede juga. Dia di Cina sekarang tinggal.
Ya Cina kalau bayarannya mantep enak sih guys.
Putar, aduh.
Putar ke kiri, ke kiri. Oh, kita harus tambahin bassnya bro. Nah, harus tambahin bassnya bro emang bro. Kurang bassnya doang guys. Ini kata kom. Enak banget yang kata kom guys anjing, sabar. Tarata. Ghost Duster. Kocak. Course object. Course object apaan guys? Oh deket sini. Untungnya. Ada waktu sesuatu. Kita tugas kita menaikkan bass kita guys. Kasih speaker dikit. Oke, kurang apa nih? Untungnya Garden Side. Oke, nice. Good job nih 5 semua. Prehistory exhibit. Nice. Tara 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 tara. Nice. Prehistory. Udah mulai belum Bang apa?
Belum?
Belum ya?
Udah deh, udah. Tehek. Udah semenit pula anjir. Gue lagi alt-tab juga anjir. Oh, Teori nih si main nih.
Gue malah main game anjing. Udah mulai Bang Cio, kasih tahu dong, weh, gue lagi main museum nih.
Try to see if they can do some damage and turn this back into their favor, but a 2v5 quite a bit. Even if it's from these two players. Hirotan though on the corner, snappy with the first shot, doesn't manage to find a Kame. Chamber on the floor.
Oke, Pisaron akhirnya menang kah?
Quits and just look to try to die to the spike. Jinbung going to be noted here at Halls, just playing ring around the Rosie, not wanting to give him the opportunity as Hirotan does get tagged up here. Jinbung able to go ahead and snap on. May
menyala bro, Yoru bro.
Forward past screens, gets himself a 4K and DFM get another pistol round win.
Wah, giliran Deeper malah si Seagate nggak pakai meta yang tadi, udah bagus meta tadi bro.
Because this is G2's comp, and DFM is already kind of playing it like they do on this attacker side. They're very patient, they're very methodical. I mean, obviously it helps when May is just doing that. Pretty impactful stuff, but another thing that G2 does really well in this composition is they're really ready for trap plays, they're really ready for their opponents to try to catch them a bit off guard.
May coba bisa bahasa Inggris ya atau apa ya?
Tip of the cap, able to win
masuk
another.
ke tim-tim besar kamu, nah. Kenapa nih?
Iya anjir. Kayak disia-siain aja guys gitu.
Kenapa nih bro? PC gua. Udah black screen anjing.
Wop.
What the fuck? Oh, harus bawa ke tempat servis sih guys. Kenapa nih bro? Coba restart anjing nggak jelas. Emang udah ini harus dicek. Udah lama banget gua di rumah doang ini sih nggak pernah dicek. Gue bersihin guys, kayak kotor deh bro. anjing. Dapat aneh guys. Kenapa ini Twitch dong?
Now Poppy should just back out.
Yeah, just going to be forced away down to 44. Your rotation's getting ready to come through. Akame able to find one. Yudotan going to be put down here by the Outlaw. And Wiley GE likely just going to get clustered up and wait for this spike to go off.
Main ini ya, main chamber ya, chamber on.
Exactly how you
Dua sentinel juga sih tapi.
Able to get some good value out of that Outlaw and kind of force the issue in the next round for GE, but they didn't buy up. I don't think anybody bought anything. No. Just all classics. So
classics across the board.
Should have full armor.
Yeah, so Konami's going to be in a pretty stable spot here. Some maybe minor util investments there. You see Yudotan at 1600, but either way, spike will go off. DFM will flawlessly carry forward all of this weaponry.
Dua senjata guys ya, dua senjata berat ya.
GE just going to go down to the spike.
All right, really curious now how the game plan opens up for DFM and what GE's responses are going to be. You know, you're basically forced into a position where you have to buy the full armors. That's the value of this Outlaw. That's the value of the chamber on this map. One of the values is that you can put your opponents in economic odd situations. So what is GE going to be able to do? And you know, as DFM, you're going to want to play slow. You're going to want to play methodical with this double Sentinel composition. Try to keep GE corralled and try to find that weak side of the map. Kame trying to get ahead a little bit.
Oh, and the second shot connects. Kelly S. Lucky to be alive.
Uh-oh. 3-0 kah? 3-0 kah? Ratu loh.
A bit whiffy there on the start, but still some damage dealt. It looks like Kame considering scaling forward and looking
Suara
for a
Korea
little bit
tembus
more.
banget anjing.
GE there hiding their players, trying to keep DFM guessing.
Poppy the one trying to hold things down from Art, but Shoulder's going to be spotted. It's a little tiny bit of damage through the box. So fake out goes his way. Ultimately, not going to be able to turn away from it, but takes the time to go into the astral form. Set up a little bit more util as the drone pushes forward into Art, but it's getting cleared out. They continue to disguise May behind that box. Nebula up, Art going for the bait out. The wall comes up, gets away scot-free. So far, DFM approaching this very methodically, very wisely. This was just a rotate as well from Barracuda. He just sprinted across to the B side. Right now, that Jet is not here. Trying to counteract. Still, though, 3 players trying to grind through here is push out of the smoke, and Bobby just doesn't know which way to look. Jinbong able to find 2 as Kelly S.
Ya, timingnya.
Crystal as well.
Patrick yang tunjukkan.
To the floor.
Nice.
A solid shot. Patrick will find the hit there. But Jan around the back, still on these lurks. Comes away with the kill, and Yudotan now. There's nothing more to be done. Just trips the wall. They'll know exactly where he's at. Not really in the spot to go hunting too deep, but this is going to be a bonus conversion. DFM looking absolutely fantastic thus far.
Yeah, and it's taking a lot of what
DFM.
G2 likes to do on this map and implementing it themselves very nicely. And you said it well, they're being methodical. They're working through all the util that GE is trying to set up. Getting through that, you know, there's a double Sentinel on the other side of the map as well. It's a very different looking double Sentinel because you have the KJ instead of the chamber. Extremely thoughtful. Because you can get caught out at a moment's notice by an alarm bot, or you walk over a nano that isn't checked, things like that. All of a sudden change the destiny of a round. So you gotta like what you're seeing from DFM. They seem very ready, very well prepared to kind of dissect and surgically cut apart the defenses that Global Esports wants to put into place. Jinbong there doing a great job. He's been looking really good today.
All too casual to be able to come away with that 3K.
Keep them coordinated.
Now just the one rifle carried over here, staying in the hands of Yudotan, it would seem. Sheriffs for everybody else. Couple half armor purchases, but Minakame is just like, well, I'm just gonna keep using this Outlaw forever, I guess.
Yeah. It's so powerful if you can get some of these rounds going, if you can win that bonus. It makes it so difficult for your opponents. You know, yes, Yudotan is going to have the full armor, but nobody else will. Although, seems like
Ngapik WL ya bang mereka bang. Belum ada guys yang pakai
a
WL.
little bit of space open, better double check.
Kayaknya bakal lama deh bro.
Dipakai kan bang?
Make sure that no one
Bisa
is
cuman
pushed
kayaknya
through
nggak akan secepat
towards
itu.
shops.
Susah soalnya.
And they're just gonna keep kind of creeping their way forward, but this
Cina
is
doang tuh udah
allowed
pakai.
GE to get a pretty good read. They haven't had any kind of contact over on the A side.
Genji nih pasti nih. Ntar kayak sini kan.
Quickly
Kayak si
rotate all the way over. Gonna use that smoke.
Freeing,
Get even deeper.
Nggak tahu metanya cocok nggak sama ini sama meta ini.
Kind of potentially throw the clone through, throw a flash through, try to clear out that Hall's position.
Ya elah Patrick wah. Polos banget anjing kena recon bang.
Through the wall. Kill does come through. It's Kelly S. Away able to find two, and suddenly
corner
the round is absolutely shifted. Gian will stabilize, finding another, but Kelly S with a third sheriff shot. Thorn's thrown in, Akame.
Baru dijual nggak bang di Tokped? Kayaknya yang baru belum. Mungkin ada mungkin enggak sih. Soalnya biasa kalau di Tokped tuh agak telat guys maksudnya guys.
Try to keep him in it, but seems like good things for DFM do not come in fours.
Nah, 3 orang kena
Once
thrifty
again,
bro.
it's 3 rounds in a row into a thrifty loss. Just like the way Lotus
Kelly
ended.
S.
Global Esports get themselves on the board.
And this is all about map control, and you know, with an eco buy, things just kind of fall apart there for DFM, and they're just kind of not calming well, in my opinion, about those Hall's positions. And they fall apart because of it. You're not using that Euro util to clear that Hall spot
Kalau di
either.
Tokped tuh masuknya agak telat guys. Nggak secepat kalau di shopnya langsung Singapura emang.
You're not anticipating that. And it really works a treat. So another good call, another good round for
Versi
Kelly.
collab kalau emang siapa guys? Belum ada nih guys. Soalnya nggak banyak guys kalau di Tokped tuh stoknya nggak ada di Indo.
Let's have the operator.
Nggak selengkap yang di Singapura.
It is an operator as well for Akame. So Paperrex, I think, not liking that he got identified. Didn't want to give them the
Chamber nggak apa lah,
opportunity to set up
Chamber
any kind of
bakal.
trickery there.
Iya sih.
Akame so far
Dia
forward
nggak
here
TTP anjir.
towards Art.
Ini
Two
Wifi
players to right
meninggal
around
nih.
this corner. A high-low setup for Crystal and Poppy.
Take flight.
Crystal there
Tawan dah.
should get the
Drone
spot.
check, but they need to, okay, it doesn't actually check
Gino
behind the
Wifi.
back. Akame does not connect either.
Ya Allah Akame kurang-kurangin nggak sih?
Teleport back across.
Tadi
The dimensional
Recon
drift
Wave, sekarang
in from May,
Open
just
yang Wave.
scouting out the A site. Some information gathered. Do they read that he's tucked away here? Poppy scales forward up into that smoke, just sat there quietly. No one to flush him out. The wall still not broken here at A main. Things very much get slowed down, but Gian hits a hell of a shot on Crystal. Dead there at Flowers. Kelly S on the re-peek. We'll find May. Gets the punish. Art going for this plant. Do they just timing him out of the smoke? Looks like the answer is going to be no. But
Bagus banget tuh flashnya.
they are able to find the follow-up off the back. The flash is so damn clean.
Bagus banget.
And now it is all on Jinbung. Can only find one.
Gila,
Kelly
Kele
S,
menyala bro.
2 huge back-to-back rounds. As he nearly pulls off an ace and gets Global their second round win.
And they're doing a great job here of keeping DFM guessing. And again, the diligence is sort of there for DFM, but they're not really being cognizant of another stacked smoke push out.
Ini memang nggak ada expect
They
sih.
were
Terus
able to
smoke-nya
deal with
begitu
the
kan.
pistol round, but here in a different spot, they're just not quite
Dalam
ready.
smoke, flash langsung
They
keluar
get caught a
dah.
little bit off guard, but Kelly S is just
Keren anjay.
all over the place.
Sampai
Great
Astra juga
setup
ke flash tadi
with
guys.
the Vice Flash as well on that push out. Starting to feel like they can start turning this around. DFM having a rough go of it. Still have enough for another operator. But that is a stinger for Art. So they're going to heavily invest. Try to keep that chamber firing. Even though Akame was whiffy on that opening shot.
Oh, ini baru.
Jiggle. Crystal trying to set up, trying to bait for Paperrex, who had just silently slid in behind the box there at A main. But a very good shot.
Thailand kah bang? Enggak, malah Filipin 3 guys. Kayak itu.
Putting the Sova down on the
Ke
floor.
Filipin ya. Dia banyak Filipin majority.
Turn your attention to other parts of the map. You still have the Vice Wall to cover that angle if there is any kind of
Berarti
lurk
besok
out
Partman
there.
main gantiin siapa bang?
Agak main sih katanya
Util
Jason
put
ya.
it through here. The double
Belum
sentinels.
main, belum.
Oke, main.
Nggak tahu juga bisa jadi
Flash out
kejutan
on the
gitu.
push this time.
Tapi kayak
Kelly
lawannya
S
di RX,
to
karena
get
lawan
the
di RX kali
opportunity
dia
to
nggak
go for the
mau
ropes the
kayak
previous
nanti
two
lah.
rounds.
Tunggu lawan-lawan tim ini mungkin coba pakai stras baru kali.
3v5. It's DFM.
Dah.
Shot caught wide. A little bit too much movement there from Akame, but either way, covering fire from the rest of his teammates, they're able to find Yudotan. And that now, that's Poppy And Barracuda in a bit of a difficult position. Do you really try to play for this one? You know that there's multiple players on the side of DFM that are dangerously close to some critical ultimates.
Dan nge-whiff nih OP-nya, bro.
The Cosmic Divide, the Hunter's Fury. And you have an operator in play. Barracuda does have a plethora of cash, but seems like the call to save has been made. So DFM not going to be allowing for Global to tie things up quite just yet. Look at themselves a 4th round win.
Yeah, it's going to be really important.
Kayaknya ini deh,
It's going to be impactful with those snipers.
Harusnya
He's able to find that big
permainan
opening
begini
first
guys
kill,
ya.
not giving the opportunity for Barracuda to trade.
Di-push.
Getting that jiggle peek kill,
Dikontrol satu set
absolutely
gitu.
devastating.
Maksudnya kayak permainan
for
gini tuh
Global
kayak
Esports. And you can see
kayak
Global
beda banget
always
sama yang
trying to
kick-off aja.
set
Kick-off
up
tuh
these
masih
little
pada
tricks, these
masih
little
pada
traps.
payah serasi,
Try to
pada
catch
tajam-tajam.
DFM
Ini
off
kayak
guard. Worked a couple rounds in a row, but this time around DFM going to get the better of them.
beda banget guys,
Doing a
sumpah
great
sama
job
kick-off
being
guys.
diligent
Kick-off tuh
with
banyak banget yang
clearing
tajam
the
guys. Ini match
You know,
pertamanya
another
kayak
trap
begini
play
bro,
set
kayak
up
pada
with
dua-dua
flash
timnya kayak biasa banget.
Outside of mid connector towards the doors. That's dealt with.
Gaya pun lumayan kemarin di
DFM this
kick-off.
time around able to come through on the better end of it.
DFM bagus banget pas kick-off.
March their way
Sini
forward towards the site.
banyak yang nge-whiff lihat tuh.
Big win.
Yeah, a bit more to cheer for there for the DFM fans over in Tokyo. As timeout call will come through here for Global Esports, their first of the series. See what the adjustments end up looking like.
Well, and I think you probably want to talk about some of the ults that you're going to have as GE here. You have the Vice ult, you have the Sova ult. So you've got some ability to play retake or to maybe set up another kind of trap where you catch DFM on the execute. So you might want to talk about, okay, how are we going to use our util to try to get the information on, get the read on how we play the round.
Mulas
You know,
gocak.
if you can catch them at the right time, you can throw those couple of ults down, really keep DFM from being able to get a comfortable plant in, or just try to flush them out of a retake setup. But it's difficult, you know, with the Vice ult and with this composition that DFM is going to be running, if they could get a plant down in B or something like that, use those sniper rifles, it could be really, really tricky to try to get some value out of those situations. So a lot to consider, a lot to talk about as GE.
Apa?
Oh,
They're going to have still have an operator of their own. Still able to get the full buy going. Like you mentioned as well, there's some big ults that are almost in play for DFM as well. So could play for the orb. You can see that they're trying to buy a little bit of extra time and space. Get a really good confirmation. Art's gonna, you know, a little bit of damage in the Razor Vines.
Nothing that he can't widely shrug off. Shock Dart looking for that follow-up Thorn, but a little bit deeper, more central to the site here.
And that, to me, again, signals that this is some kind of trap play to try to disrupt the plant, to try to disrupt the execute. They've got a couple players stacked, though. Another high-low setup, sort of, but drone actually
back, but no, actually it does kind of cross over towards that B side. And instead, I mean, they just face forward. Crystal eats an immense amount of damage, but Art eating a little bit more. Takes the headshot there from Mutaton, is able to find a kill. Hunter's Fury going to be gained in death.
Si Art udah tobat guys, nggak pakai ini lagi guys.
Dissuading them from pushing forward onto the site.
I'd be very nervous about this if I'm DFM.
Flash out, the pace coming through, and Kelly S able to go ahead and collect two. Hunter's Fury now from Crystal, just hunting, trying to see what he can find, but
Kami dapat kan
down to
ini.
Akame to see if he can do a little bit more damage, because it's a bit more costly
Sejauh mata memandang, whiff
for the
terus
side
ya.
of Global Esports.
Kan?
Just that operator hits the leg shot.
Kaki.
Anticipates the close angle. Doesn't have the outbound fast enough. Tries to go for a flick, but inevitably will have to go ahead and run it. The time will dwindle. And the timeout call from Global Esports will work a treat as they get themselves a third round win.
Yep, really like this timeout from Global Esports. Kind of similar ideas, but you know, you don't even have to use the Steel Garden from Kelly S because they just found a great timing on the execute to just get those kills. So you're still able to keep that in the back pocket to go up against this big ult cycle that DFM has coming into play. Potentially just really rip this half away from them. But you know, I'm kind of starting to get a little bit concerned here for DFM. They're not really kind of reading these trap plays on the A site when they go for it.
Pak. Malam
times where it's just a swing out around that box and Kelly S finds a couple big kills while DFM is walking down that ramp from A-Link.
Jump across Patrick Koo trying to look for
Ya
it.
elah!
Both sides, both going to be going a little bit wide.
Ya Allah, Akame udah ganti sih, ganti Akame.
Patrick Koo pulls back over towards Halls, maybe considering a little bit of a repeat, but looks like he'll opt to hold
Udah kasih
a
meja
safer
tuh OP
angle.
nah cenah.
DFM though,
Pick TP bejir.
no rotations,
Ngepick
no
A,
thought
TPB
of
gitu
really
loh.
playing around with A. They're just going to go ahead and really look to storm their way forward into the B site before any kind of reinforcements can come through.
Gemoy nih.
Trigger gets pulled here on the ultimate. Weapons taken away from the side of DFM here for a brief little moment as Yudotan trying to go up and over the top, but it's going to be the shot there from Jinbong with the classic in hand. Go ahead and finish off the enemy KJ. Run still guarded now in play. No one going to get caught by that. The Cosmic Divide as well going to be exchanged on both sides, just absolutely dissecting the map, cutting it to pieces, and Kelly S trying to look for a timing, trying to catch them off guard. It's a falling to the wayside. He's in control now here in the hands of DFM, but shock dart at the feet. Damage found.
Gagal itu flashnya anjing.
Going deep enough, and that's the last one that he has at the ready. But as the wall falls, it's going to be Crystal, who actually manages to find Kian and May. A 2v3, the drone not going to be finding a damn thing. Star set up for the pull. The recon going to be lobbed in. Quickly cleared as the spam fight begins. And Art wins it out. Another tap from Crystal. But there's just realistically no hope in hell. Would have to be an ace clutch. There's just not enough time for him. Even if he can get the eliminations, he cannot get the defuse.
Nah, gitu
Teammates
dong.
for DFM want to pop as they get a fifth round win. Once again, just not allowing for Global Esports to get a tied up scoreline.
Yeah, the patience is paying off for
Odin
DFM
bang
again.
itu tuh gue bilang Art pensiun guys.
Sort of slowly but surely working these angles. Yudotan goes for a timing play.
Tell me this. Yeah.
That's nasty. Crystal is, we know how good he can be. 3 kills in that round, but again with that chamber, with the operator, with the deep post plant positions onto the site, really tough
Tipis juga tapi
to
guys,
deal with
tiga
that, especially with the double sentinel composition. You know, a lot of times it's going to be hard to find.
Bisa nih Geo, semangat yuk.
Work angles. Patrick Koo, so aggressive with the drone to clear.
A very smart drone. Poppy this time able to slide away, not taking any damage. As
Apa sih? Kayak rusuh banget ya sih?
really trying to limit
Iya.
test there.
Satu ngepick OP
Let's see
kan
how one
kena
available,
cabut,
but now has
ini
the back.
sok-sok ngepick juga.
Well off from the
Terus
angle.
berisik gitu loh.
As Yudotan
Kalau berisik kan ketahuan kan ya ada yang
pushing
jadi
forward,
maju lagi.
trusts that it's going to be a fake
Kayak
out.
orang aware gitu loh.
Fall forward. Patrick Koo now going to take his
Mati nih Patrick Koo nih.
try his luck.
Anjing.
Does manage to
Boleh lah,
stabilize
boleh.
that
Ada
shot.
gemok, easy.
Looked like he was going to be off, but it's the hit. Jan now dead. Smokes taken away from DFM.
Mati nih Art nih.
You can see they're setting up
Minimal 2 lah.
sneaky plays on both sides of the map.
All the walls there, and Art is
Kan gue bilang mati kan Art.
The spike dropped.
Anjir.
Thorns now popped on the opposite side, and Cali S just staying tucked back. Reinforcements a world away, but seems like he likes his odds. No one looking to really join in alongside him in this position. The spot out there onto one player. Now look at the try to flood and overwhelm. Cali S still doing well to come away with another.
Hey.
Kame dead. May just taking the time, grabbing the orb, spike in hand. 19 seconds left on the clock. It's just going to be a save for the operator in all likelihood. Maybe the call says, you know what, we don't need it. I do have a tour de force. Either way, Crystal will push forward and find the kill, and Global Esports continue to keep this absolutely neck and neck.
Yeah, and again, it's
Pras
you know,
kapan Bang Yo
kind of a
besok
game of
ya?
cat and mouse
Ditunggu
between these
ya.
two teams. Whose trap plays can work better? And when you're able to find that opening pick as Patrick Koo, a really
Mereka padahal udah nge-walk ya? Nggak kedenger, nggak kelihatan kan ada wall itu?
high tempo move there.
Iya.
Get up onto the screens, get the shot, and get out.
Dia
Oh enggak, dia flash dulu ya baru dia ini ya. Ah iya dia flash dulu, jadi dia buta terus dia maju ke depan.
And DFM doesn't check behind that box.
Nggak mungkin dia pasti, dia nggak mungkin ketinggalan sendiri tuh. Harusnya kan dia pasti bareng-bareng.
They don't fall for the same thing twice. There goes that chamber ult, like you were mentioning. Oh my god, dude.
Ah,
Starting
boleh
to warm
lah.
back up.
Oh. Apa lagi?
Another fast peek and kill there for Patrick Koo. This time Jinbong on the floor, not necessarily as devastating as losing Jian, given the util available. So far,
Oh,
really being
sudah menguap.
allotted over to DFM.
Sangat pengantuk saya.
Wanting them
Mau berak
to really
lagi.
fight to gain any kind of information, any kind of space.
But they've got such a good read on this. There's a deep turret over on B. So that's allowing them to slide to the other side of the map.
Oh,
Kind of cover A a little bit heavier. Helps
si
them
Ar
to get the
lemes
spot on
banget,
Akame as
puasa
well.
kah?
Excuse me, Ed. Things getting a little bit dicey. Crystal gonna get ahead of this wall. Are they gonna be ready?
Waiting for the timing.
timing.
Spots on the first. Pulls the trigger, finds it. TP having to be taken.
Apain, Cok, Mei, Cok? Panik TP ke dalam set anjing.
Akame only able to find
Ini juga
one.
ya. Kirain TP balik ke side anjir
Down
aneh
to 5
juga.
HP.
Dia taruh TP di set dia.
Global Esports
Udah
this
siap
time.
tuh, siap di smoke si Papi tadi dia.
Jump the hurdle to be
Papi
able
udah
to
siap
tie
tuh yang
things
di
up
one way situ.
in the map.
Yeah,
Save.
with Yudotan,
Aduh, lama nih banyak
still in
banyak
connector.
mikir nih DFM nih.
No time to shift to the other side of the map.
10 seconds left.
Might as well just be a save at this point. Grab a gun here for Akame. Sit and spawn and hide and wait this out. I think you need a timeout as DFM. Try to reassess some of what's going on. Maybe you've got one of those
Jalan kantor sih guys
high
kalau ini
tempo
guys.
executes that you can try to dial in right now.
Boring banget Cok perangnya Cok.
Kind of turn things around.
T1 Zeta juga kayak entar ngantuk
It's
juga
just
deh.
again these
Terlalu
trap
Iya,
gampang ya sama T1.
maka bakal annihilated
They're
gak sih?
just not
Bantai-bantai.
really reading the timings of when and where GE players can be when they can push out of those smokes. You know, you just don't anticipate it. And that's really been the name of the game, and the adaptations haven't really always been there for DFM. They can win those
Jepang hari
opening
ini
kills, if they
dua-duanya
can win
guys
some of
hari
those
ini, guys.
opening fights.
Iya makanya.
That's when they're able to kind of really work the map methodically, but
Op, hancurin tolong.
Dracu again. Trying to get
Oke,
into the
ketahuan.
cubby.
Ketahuan sih
Bait
harusnya.
there by
Ya kalau
Yudotan.
ngepick lebar gitu.
Is May gonna contest that, try to challenge it,
Oke,
set up the arc
oke nih.
rose, but
Tahu dia pasti tahu.
yeah, okay,
Dia
TP out,
jualan
please do not try to go for
Oh
that
yang
angle.
satunya lagi swingnya lebar
It's gonna
banget.
open up space for Yudotan. He's gonna try to challenge him a bit.
Time to jump.
Okay, dimensional drift considered here.
Wih,
Gate crash goes
anjir.
through. Oh, he gets that ult
Dapat
off.
dia, Cok.
Just
Kena
in
shorty
time.
nih.
Attempted clearing the gate crash. Not quite going to connect there with the shorty. Spots out both players. Gets himself over to Hall. So Kame at the same time just pushing forward into the next to there, and Poppy just taken down.
Lihat guys si R guys wajah itu guys. Lemes
Back
banget,
up for
Cok.
Mate now. The pivot. DFM once again turn their sights over
Ngantuk
towards
deh kayak gue
A.
sama.
Healing area.
Iya anjir, gue juga sih.
Players nearby. The recon not spotting anybody over at main. Crystal, a quick jump peek there from dugout. On the wall now. Waiting for the swing. Clears the thorns. Shock dart. Base of the
Okay,
stairs and try to slowly approach the
Perek
thorns.
Buset, gede bola
Very
tuh.
much locking everyone in place.
Polinya buset.
27 seconds. Looks like a pivot call is going to be made here from DFM now, sprinting their way towards B.
Oke. Isol.
Yudotan still here. If he can find
SU
one
Dotan.
from
But
Halls,
anytime.
that lockdown
Besok
can
Perek
come out.
lawan ini guys, DRX match pertama guys.
It's waiting patiently. Footsteps spotted.
Ini
The
besok nih,
shot
besok start
there.
langsung Perek.
Swinging forward.
Oh
Interrupt the
anjir,
plan.
timingnya bagus
It
banget
kills
sumpah
them
Udotan.
all. And Art will find one, make it the other, but the time
Sumpah Udotan bagus
is
banget
out of their
timingnya.
hands.
Nggak jelas guys.
Pas banget
Yudotan
dilariin.
so quiet, so patient,
Ketiga guys.
so deadly.
Last round in
Gets
the half.
GE the round win. 3 in a row to now move up 6-5.
And again, the protocols and the kind of awareness is falling apart for DFM. He's going to see those feet right underneath that one-way. Uses the smoke
Timnya pun jauh
against
kali.
them so nicely. That was DFM smoke, by the way. And it worked right into Yudotan's hands. And they're not clearing Hall. We've seen this a couple times where they're not dealing with that very crucial position. I mean, you look at the teams that are really good on this map, it's because a lot of it, when they go B, they're clearing that Hall. You know, you see like T1, for example.
Nah, ini yang baru keluar ada di
They're throwing
ini.
into that Hall to
Tadi
make
bisa
sure it's
dibeli.
clear. Every single time.
Iya itu yang kayak nggak ada animasi.
It's going to be one of those players who's making sure that that part of the map is theirs. And now you've got an ult here, like you said, for Yudotan.
And used it in the previous round when I thought he might, just to go ahead and ensure it didn't need it. As Crystal peek out, Crystal hunts him,
Set.
finding two. The Hunter's Fury, Patrick, who Yudotan both going to be taken down at the same time. But they have to respect this lockdown. They have to peel away. Spike not yet planted. 55 seconds
Kita berarti nggak
remaining.
bisa pakai Rena doang. Bisa lah.
Nebula
Apa
obfuscating,
nggak bisa?
stopping the drone from getting too much.
Ada yang
of the
pakai aja
blind shot,
karena
still goes through.
kurang guys.
Quite a bit invested from both sides. It's still going to be Global Esports sitting in a slightly better position. Full HP armor across the remainder of these players. Art down to 5.
Main lagi disable.
It's so slow though.
30 seconds.
Iya, gara-gara bug
DFM
itu.
is really unaware
Ada
of what's
bakal
going
apa?
on in the
They're
map.
fully believing it
Itu yang
seems like this is
ngedes
going to be a
terbang
hit
itu.
onto the A side.
Jauh,
Nards,
yang jauh itu.
he's here to try to sell this one.
Wele.
Spike over.
Ya Wele kan yang disable.
Dia bilangnya Reina
The
katanya.
wall activated now.
Oh, Reina,
Noise being
Wele
heard here.
nggak sih?
Kami just basically having to sprint. If he gets interrupted at all,
Bak apa? Baknus apa?
would just be the end of the round, but they're still
Bak
running low
ngedes yang
on
bisa
time.
jauh itu loh,
8
Bang.
seconds remaining.
Ya itu Wele gua tahu.
Makes it
Kalau
to the
yang
side, we're gonna
Reina
go
katanya
for the
di
plan.
disable juga nggak tahu.
Shock dart. The bounce, not able to find it. This time the spike does get planted. It's in play. 3v3, 3v2 is Art on the linger. Finds the IGL of Global.
Kenapa ada bak apa guys Reina emang guys?
Thorns popped. Stopping any attempt at a Hall's push. Kami taking a little bit more damage. Jinbung. Last unscathed player is
Malah lagi dari si
Crystal.
R.
Finds himself a third. 5 HP. They almost line up for him. But it's going to be Poppy left standing as Global.
Gara-gara tweet
Give
Meteor.
themselves a 7-5 half. This is after
Meteor.
DFM convert the bonus. What a run back.
Switching sides.
Yeah, they're just doing a great job of getting the read on things. I mean, so far, I'm really, really stoked about the way Kelly S is running the ship. He is just captaining GE so nicely, and they are just keeping DFM guessing. You know, DFM trying to make some cheeky moves, Art trying to sell that they went over to A when they're actually doubling back towards B. That gets them the plant, but then they kind of spread and they're not able to win some of these 1v1s. But in general, just GE has a lot of these cool, cheeky ideas that, you know, this comp is actually kind of built to sort of deal with. G2, that's when I was watching them, you know, in the lead up to Masters, when I was watching them at Masters, that was something they do really well. You know, EDG would try to throw all these kind of trap plays, and they just kind of handle it nicely because you've got a couple TPs, you've got some ways to kind of handle some of that pressure, but DFM doesn't have those protocols built in yet. They were getting caught a lot of the time and not really able to keep control of that information game often. It was really GE who was ahead in that regard.
Mari bersorak.
Right now, DFM needing to be the ones who are following the instructions on the sign. Widely quieted after the start of this map.
Toronto dari mana guys?
It's been Patrick who the one who's
Amerika.
You heard me right, and no, this is not an early April Fool's joke. Valorant have actually completely disabled Reina, so you will not be able to select her in any game mode, even in the range. In fact, she is even removed from the agent menu in your lobby. This is all due to a bug surrounding her overheal, where essentially it was just giving no extra health. You can see in this clip here from Meteor, he gets one shot by a Marshal despite having used Devour, and the same thing would go to, say, dying to a ghost headshot on pistol round. It's rare we see agents completely removed like this, so I expect this bug will be resolved in less than a day or so, but take advantage of this while you can. It is literally impossible to insta-lock Reina today. Reina was just removed.
Ada bugnya bang apa?
Berapa bang? Bang apa?
Terus si Meteor, jadi si Reina itu ya overheal sampai 150.
will be able to reposition.
Ditembak sama Marcel mati si Meteor, makanya langsung dilaporin.
Trying to set up a crunch plate.
Badan masalahnya Marcel, badan mati dia.
May and Art trying to cut this off. They're gonna have to cede control of the B side over.
Sedangkan Wele yang super dash-nya nggak dipakai kah?
Could still be good.
Iya anjir, tuh aneh banget anjir.
Kalau dipakai gimana guys?
Trades it out.
Makanya,
Takes a little bit
katanya
damage.
gara-gara
Spade
itu
looks
tuh
for
katanya
timing.
Wales
Seeing the
katanya mau
shock dart
dihapus
fly.
katanya.
Cannot confirm the kill, and Poppy's just holding down the door.
Wah gila DFM burik banget cok.
Yes.
1 for 1 on the map in pistols. 2-2 in the series. Global Esports now with a 3
G-nya padahal G-nya juga nggak yang pedes banget guys, tapi ya
if that trap
DFM-nya
play
turu
doesn't
banget.
completely eliminate GE's flank, if they don't have 2 players there, if it's just the one, you know, then May could feel a lot more comfortable to swing down, but they're just reading DFM at every twist and turn. May stuck in a bad spot, had to go for a hero play, couldn't convert.
I think of life.
Like they might just take this map pick of DFM away from them, get some revenge from kickoff. DFM was able to take them down. Tap of the orb and high pen guns.
Oh.
Well, speaking of, it's a good kill for Yudotan. Catches Jinboom. Just out on the side on B. Maybe just the timing with the smoke there.
I'll see it back, but Global not looking. Concede any advantages. Very nice. Shot there from Akame, finds Kelly S. Cluster up here from DFM. Call expecting this push here on the A site, but as Yudotan continues to scale forward, could just go ahead, sign out for the rest of the team, signal to them. This B site widely has opened up. It seems like DFM are acknowledging this potential timing, though. Thought of a pivot back, but
second guessed it.
Yep, are going to be sticking around here.
I don't know if maybe some footsteps got heard by Akame or something, but I thought maybe GE was too far for that. It's just hard to say.
30 seconds left.
What convinced them that it was in fact A? They're going to know here in a second.
Yeah, they are. And there's the bad news. 4-player group up, 4 headhunter bullets in the hands here of Akame. Try to make a go of it, get a little bit more damage here perhaps. Pulling off the thrifty. Just given the way that GE's been playing. Seems nigh impossible here for them, and they might even really try for it. Maybe some picks onto the exiting players, perhaps. Akame swinging out, tailwind over the side, updraft from Patrick, just trying to stay a little bit more elusive here. It's tiny bits of damage, and okay, eventually Will can take it down. May finds Yudotan.
Okay.
But the time, not really going to be there. It's just all about damage from here on out. Seems like that might just be the end of it, and it is. 2 players surviving. Once again, not too bad here. The damage dealt. Global Esports get themselves up to 9 all the same. A massive win streak now across the 2 halves.
Yeah, you're really going to need to have a little bit of that and more. Just a jiggle peek. No smoke was even up. Long range gunfire at B. Working a treat. A little bit of Astra util in there for good measure. Not that it was really needed.
Time for a field
but you're not able to carry much over. Guardian, Bulldog, and you got to buy up a little bit. Ghost.
Fighting!
Weaponry. Try to challenge this mid position. And Akame is holding down. Bit of an off angle.
Rendezvous at the ready is going to have to be Johnny on the spot with it. Finds the first, overstays though. Reads out for a little bit more, not necessarily anticipating that it was going to be a 3-player push in from Art. Speaking of, Art on the crossfire. Out on the side, able to find one. Patrick, who going to be put down. Solid advantage gained here for the side of DFM as they need to prevent this bonus conversion.
Wele lebih parah, nggak ada tuh, makanya Wele parah banget tuh, bakal cok.
Trying to right the ship. Gian, a bit of damage there on the crystal, but unable to find the headshot.
Yeah, they're just kind of waiting this out. Art's got to be so careful. If he can't win a 1v1 against Poppy coming out of Link, this could be very fruitful for GE.
Oh, he just pushes up into the smoke.
That's one way to deal with it.
He's able to play off the damage previously set there on the crystal, so finds that kill, giving his life to the cause. DFM from here can't really afford to have any more players lost. Just 20 seconds remaining. Kelly S is still able to find a kill. May going to be taken down. Swing out, Jinbung dead. All on GN. Instantaneous with a headshot. Bonus is converted. The streak continues. Global Esports. Absolute domination. 7 rounds in a row.
Just a great idea there to overstack that angle. You know, force that chamber into a bad position. You have to TP after that first kill or else you're in trouble potentially. Doesn't happen. And then this position here on A, he has no help. He has to either win the battle at A Link against Poppy if Poppy pushes that angle, or just do what he did and just kind of die for the cause there to try to slow GE down. But then that opens up the site for GE. They're able to get the plant, get into post plants. You know, there's no real backup and coordination in that position for DFM. Need to work through some of these defensive setups a little bit more, in my opinion, to make sure that you know there's backup ideas there. There's something else other than get the one and done. You need a little bit more coordination We've seen a lot of that from GE today. They've been doing a great job.
Oh. This time, Akame not going to be able to find the headshot. Yurutan taking him down. Quick little jiggle peek out. May does
nice
find the
spot.
follow-up headshot.
Kalau May bisa dipercaya, guys.
Potentially recover the weapon, but for the moment does not have any kind of gate crash set up to try to rejoin over on this A side a little bit faster. GN does manage to find one, dodges the shock. It's about to re-peek, but LES just strafing over. Finds the kill. There's the follow-up Thorns. Gets situated. Just trying to hold them in place.
Ramnya nggak sampai 1 season, Bang. Save May, save May.
Try to check May. I don't believe he gets caught by this one, and the second shot is able to find Poppy. Crystal, however, there for the punish. Comes away with the kill. Full flash there on the LES. Forces him into the back of dugout. Just realistically, what are you trying to do from here? Attempt at the Thorns, but quickly cleared the recon. Over the top to just try to get some kind of eyes on him. But Crystal swings the corner, comes up with 2. And Global Esports are now just 2 rounds away from closing out this series and slamming the door in DFM's face.
I love these post-plan ideas from Global Esports. That positioning with the spike causes a shock dart to miss, so they can get the spike down without taking any damage, and they can play this post-plant because they've got control over Secret, set up a crossfire with Dugout, and make it really, really challenging for DFM to try to break that open. A really nice on-the-fly idea. Works a treat.
Masih ini tuh Paperrex dibahas-bahas nih, bro. Kalah sama tim gini, bro.
So has to be turned around right now for DFM. That's almost all of your cash invested in this. You know, yeah, you've got enough for another buy in the next round, more or less, but GE's got time and money on their side. They're just waiting out. Gonna get ahead of that wall, maybe. Nope, just one.
Who's up over the top, catches a glimpse there. May eating some damage, eating a death. So eventually the kill is found. Jinbung tucked here into the corner. Thought maybe he'd go for the spray, just try to get the wallbang shot on the Kelly S. Now attempting it, but the spike is already in play. The plant is there, and now there's a cosmic divide staring them all in the face.
Well, and they're all going to group up and try to push from the other side of this cosmic divide. Could have created a flank angle, but
this is where you would love to have the dimensional drift still at the ready. Push out though. Quick peek from Jinbung, able to find one, but Kelly S situated up close. Gets rid of GN Art, falling moments before. 2v3, you have this up and play. The time is not on your side. Purely DFM, you have to get out of here. Consolation prize, perhaps, as the tap does allow you to drop this Hunter's Fury. But this round, this map clearly is not yours. Global Esports will get up to match point.
Buru-buru banget, Bang. Kenapa udah pulang-pulang aja?
Nih, abis duit nih mereka nih.
It's difficult to watch this because this DFM team looks scared. They look like they're not confident in some of their decisions. They're not creating flank angles. They're not trying to work against the ults of their opponents. And I would say if you're going to stack up behind this Cosmic Divide, not only do you not have May's ult, but you don't have the flashes either to try to break through to the other side of that Cosmic Divide. So you need to create flank angles there. You need to go through Art and clear that, and then try to make your retake. Instead, they just try to go for kind of a flood play. Just gets shut right down. Plus, there's the Cosmic Divide there.
Nah, udah tahu nge-whip terus.
That's not great for Akame.
Wah, masih, no exit. Udah jelek banget main begitu, masih pengen pick depan gitu.
Misses.
The whip nggak TP lagi.
Does not go out. They're just trying to reposition Art desperately. Currently hunting here for a kill and will be rewarded with one. Poppy going to be taken down, so at least able to trade one out.
No smoke lagi.
And that's the smoke's gone. That makes this round, in theory, quite a bit easier. Patrick was so far forward, already able to outduel him.
Udah mulai bangun nih.
That's a big win for DFM.
Matanya nih, udah seger nih kayaknya.
Now into a 3v4. Kelly S getting a bit damaged still. Not going to be dead quite just yet, but is whittled away at down to 40 HP.
Udah masuk 3 bro, lihat bro.
Bit more than likely to be the conclusion of the map, but
they have no idea.
He's got different ideas. How patiently does he play it is going to be the question here. GN at the same time able to find Kelly, so now he knows that he's running out of time. Spots the first player. Would love to go a little bit deeper, get some more information, but instead we'll just settle for killing the Jinbuk here at Flowers. Now invests the lockdown.
Oh, and that alarm bot, so smart.
The swing around the back, the fake out, catching a shot.
Gila.
The kill there. But the detain, it manages the strike. Crystal comes away with one. May still here. Sending out the flash.
Backside planting na.
The time is just not going to be on his side. They play it wisely. DFM not overstepping here. They will get themselves another round victory, breaking a huge win streak.
Gak tahu bang apa dia di situ. TP-nya kan terakhir.
And ensuring that the series does not come to an end quite just yet.
Is that 9 in a row? Is my math right?
Yes.
Cool. I mean, it takes these opening kills with a Hunter's Fury to essentially turn this round on its head, and still Yudotan almost makes a brilliant play there. Again, on the fly, unorthodox stuff, but I love the way he uses that alarm bot so that he can cut towards Secret to make sure that he can, you know, he knows he's outmanned in that situation, and using that alarm bot as an extra person, basically. Smart stuff, doesn't work out, but, you know, with that dimensional drift available for May, but you're able to bait that out. So plenty of time here, plenty of rounds to work with for GE. Up and over with the blades, doesn't get much.
Eyes at the ready, May able to find one. Escapes the gate crash, but
Art kalau di time bang udah diomelin kali guys.
Absolutely massacred as Kelly is so
semua
far
nih,
in.
bro.
Poppy now finding GN and it's starting to unravel.
3 lawan 3.
Spike gonna be planted. Ult invested, weapons taken away. May dropping down out for Flowers. Kelly S having to backpedal, shifts away, but Jinbuk out of the Nebula. And Poppy clearly just not quite registering it.
Set, putar 2 kali tuh.
Ends up getting eliminated, but 2 players are so very low.
Ya Allah, kalah! Kelly!
He's in with a headshot, Crystal. No util to speak of. You can see the frustration there in the player cam, realizing that it's just not worth for him to try to fight this one out. The fuse comes in, DFM. Find themselves a 7th round victory.
I'll pick them apart. You clean up whatever's left.
Yeah, so this time, well, you're able to stop the Blade Storm from really doing a ton there. Kelly S trying to break the site open. Him and Poppy doing a good job, but this time around DFM coming from a couple of different angles, and May just holding the line in Secret there. You know, GE kind of feeling pretty confident. Again, they have some rounds to play with, so they're allowed to try to push towards Art like Yudotan did. Try to push towards Secret, yeah.
This has occurred to me that they still have 2 timeouts.
Who does?
DFM. They haven't used a single one. G is the only one that's timed out on this map.
Oh.
Might come to
I guess you're right. I hadn't realized that either.
All right, well, a loss of May. Akame able to go ahead and find Patrick Hu, so a trade on the Duelist, but Akame down to 10. As things grind to a halt here. You just see what they can figure out around Art, but Strong spots out one.
Matchnya kok jadi lama begini?
Pull the trigger on that once this vice wall is gone on B.
Dia 2-0 kasih bro, 12 bro.
Pushes Art forward.
So smart.
Yudotan is there. Ready to find that elimination. Tien holding the door, however, Jinbuk says, I got a classic, that's fine. Buy the bundle, baby. Peeks in, Yudotan gonna be taken down. Now the Spike is stranded. All 3 players stacked up. GE would have to just brawl their way through this. So they're on the flash, headshot instantaneous. Jinbuk with the 3K cleanup. He's a DFM, still afloat.
They brought weapons made of metal to kill me.
I love the idea again from GE. Using that ult to flush players out, but fortunately, GN, whew. I mean, there have been some snappy shots from DFM, but the game plan widely has been much better for GE. And who's actually taking the timeout? Who actually pulled the trigger here?
It's Global Esports.
It's Global, yeah, they're using their second. Still
Really?
2 for DFM.
Not feeling quite as confident, perhaps, on the closeout here as they were on Lotus. We didn't have to really see any intervention.
Makin lama,
Calling it for
makin
pause
ngantuk.
to ensure that they are able to bring this to a conclusion. not let DFM take this all the way
Lu basket
into
sama siapa,
overtime.
Barrio?
Apa?
Basket sama siapa?
Anak motion.
Very curious.
Mana Motion?
You know, this can be one of those rounds. Can't quite remember what the economy's looking like here for GE, but try to go for something.
I believe it's not in a great spot.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was feeling.
But here's the biggest concern for
Bangunin
me.
gua jam 8,
Yeah.
guys.
Start of the map,
Jam
Kaos
8.
conversion comes in. 3 in a row for DFM.
Yeah,
Lose to a Thrifty.
that's correct.
How many rounds in a row have DFM just won?
I see, 3.
And GE's on a Thrifty attempt.
So
Surely,
you're reading the tea leaves here.
surely
Yeah.
it doesn't end like this.
Uh-huh. You say that. I mean, you've got an operator, you've got a couple ults.
Nah, Akame lagi.
You've got
Akame lagi ya guys ya.
Barracuda's over the top. That hero rifle.
Ya ambil
Sends it
gak tuh
out for the
HP-nya
operator.
bangsat.
Cloudburst covering fire.
Oh emang Iko ya.
Obfuscation there as Jen will do well to go ahead and ensure that remains on the floor.
Well, now he's got problems.
He is able to get away, not taking any damage.
Fortunate timing on that jiggle peek, but it does seed the operator back over to Kelly S this time. Change of directions, change of ideas. Art and May trying to set up just a check there. Getting some info, but it's actually a step ahead of where GE was coming. So Art on his own here. There's no one else anywhere near this.
And he is in such a committed position.
Kalau Art mati masuk sih aja nih.
To play around with, nothing to really work for him. The recon not used, hits the first shot, hits a second, and that might just be enough. Cosmic Divide now going to be called out, but already Yudotan pushing well past that.
30 seconds left.
To be widely unconcerned, he looks to try to flood a little bit deeper, fight forward. Cannot find more. Crystal now on 1v2. The up in hand, the tap of the spike. Now we'll commit in for the plant itself.
Kalau menang sih gila sih Crystal.
Cosmic Divide has dissipated. The peek in, May.
Peek in, May, Cok. Salah gua.
Find the headshot, and this time, DFM will not allow it to happen. See, I was right. And that's going to be them now getting up to 9.
You can't admit though that you weren't not worried a little bit.
Oh,
at moments during that round.
As soon as Hakame died. It's like, how have I done this?
It definitely felt like it, but great stuff here from Art. I mean, we see these moments from DFM, but the bigger picture seemingly mostly in GE's favor. But 4 in a row for DFM. Not giving up.
Needing to make it 7.
Oke, OP lagi Bang.
Doable. Got a couple. You've got, well, one all that really
Anda bukan las ya, Akame, tolong ngerti.
dimensional drift.
Anda bukan lift ya, tolong.
Check with the drone. Akame trying to dodge it a little bit, but
I was gonna say, there's no one peeking to try to clear it here for him, so
yeah.
we'll just have to send the shot. So operator going to be identified. Needs to be able to get out of here if things go sideways. The drone shoves them back a bit. The start popped, not gonna go for a timing shot. They all drift across, the swing out, tries to hit the hospital flick, but this time we'll be able to get out unscathed.
Now
Kenapa dia nggak ngambil off angle screen aja ya?
tough play. Good job by GE there to at least break that angle open, but this is kind of opening up the rest of the map for them. There's going to be the wall that Yudotan, see if he pops it or not. He just pinged it out. Hasn't opted. I don't think he
Buatku semua Cok, udah mau merem
has
Cok.
to go just yet. I'm not sure, but they're just waiting now for the reinforcements. Want to make sure that every position is clear here.
Kami
You have the
berpikir
Cosmic
dia
Divide,
lift,
so maybe he's
yoi.
going to set it up to cover the front of the site. That's my guess.
Gate crash from May, just expiring. Gonna be a little bit further away as Patrick Hu looks for the opener and finds it. Jinbong gonna be taken down. Site widely opened up, 20 seconds remaining on the clock to push forward. Crystal going for the plant. Thorn set up.
Here.
Spike in play, 5 players still strong here for the side of G as they look to bring this series to its end. Dimensional drift out, May. Scouting, calls here, noticing Patrick Hu's on the corner, Akame able to hold the line, finds the first, now brings it back into a 4v4. Time working against them, the swing up from Yudotan, faces back in towards mid, Arc gonna be eliminated, Jien off screen, able to find Kelly S and May, flushes out Yudotan, the Hunter's Fury to try and delay, Jien gonna be taken down. Poppy stands up and look at the damage, both of them eating the hit as May dies, but the refuse is there. Akame doing his best. Sylvan comes away with a round win. DFM 2 off, taking us now into overtime.
I mean, this looked like this was game, set, match for GE. Barracuda gets the opening kill. Then things kind of start to crumble a little bit. Yudotan there, able to be cleared out of ARP. I mean, there was so much post-plant utility. I mean, you had Nanos, you had the Astra, you had the Vice util, you had the Hunter's Fury. I thought for sure GE was just going to be able to kind of scrape by on that. But again, DFM is getting more active on the map. They're coming from more angles on these retakes. And that started to get them these round wins that they so desperately needed. Kind of made it a lot more difficult for GE to just post up into their post-plant positions. And they're able to clear out players fast enough to just barely squeak through with a round win. Now push towards Art, trying to overstack this A-side angle. GN's like, well, I've been here before. And this is something that GE's been dipping into to win rounds.
Akame here at main and behind the box. The trademark going to be cleared out over towards Art. The lockdown in play. Sweeps in towards main once again, but tell Kelly S very suspicious about this position, but isn't going to confirm anything here. The jiggle peek out, the shoulder spotted. The shot flies, but Akame cannot find the punish. A world away from his rendezvous. As the flood gets ready to come through. Nice flick, finds one. Crystal can take it down. The redraw on the op, and Barracuda is dead. Tries to find this final flick, cannot make it happen, but Kelly S is the last one standing. Is my god DFM.
Video apa begini, bro?
Side of global esports. A full
Kalau
loss bonus.
Bapak, saya pengen
It's just Kelly S slowly slipping away with
I take my life and the lifestyle.
Away from an overtime.
Banget ya Allah.
This is quite the map. What looked like it was just going to be GE kind of running away with this series. Could have an overtime. Well, okay, Kelly S.
It's calling like he's so low.
Get him.
The operator will be retained.
I mean, what a play here from Akame. Stuck on A main. GE knows it.
The first one was great. The second one I couldn't believe.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's like, I'm peeking, I'm shooting, and I'm moving back, and I'm just going to keep swinging side to side until they take me out. He has a great job with it. That saves their round life. I mean, GE not doing the wrong thing in that situation. They got to clear that position, but just got outplayed.
Ya Allah.
Timeouts be damned. DFM might just send it into OT.
And Art's got an
Patrick
Odin.
mulu udah mati mulu pakai OP. Stop OP, Patrick.
Will this be the tool that gets them into overtime and gets them an opportunity to still
Anda bukan something,
extend
OP.
this series over towards split?
I like that from Art. Kind of recognizes that might be a bit of bait from GE. You know, G's been doing this so much. And he kind of recognizes that they might overstack this angle again, so I better get out of there and just wait this out. Still have the Hunter's Fury as well for Art, so he's getting into what I suspect is a position to try to find some value out of that. TP being sent out by May to try to cover over towards the A site. Top of the wall here. This is the old T1 play-ish.
And Poppy has to be the hero. The one to get them some information, trying to sell. Art starts drifting his way back over.
Hanya
Hunter's Fury
serius kosong
is
tuh.
available to try to interrupt the plan.
Nanti ada 4.
Stay on one forward, they get themselves here onto the site. They're on the nano. Hunter's Fury going to be coming in, but it's going to be late. Now having to assess and try to spot out these players. The updraft out the window, shot somehow not connecting. Akame nearly able to find it. Got battle, however, the shot connecting. Down the fadeaway from Barracuda.
Akhirnya dikatain bangkit ya.
Gets rid of May. And somehow, some way. DFM now very much on the back foot. Swing on the corner, Akame, the last one left standing and not
Bangkit dia bro dikatain. Gua kalau katain orang suka bangkit coba, bahaya banget coba anjing.
Esports do not allow for DFM to
Katain
run
orang
back to
bangkit tadi
take
gua.
it into
Serem banget ya.
overtime.
Bang apa? Makasih Bang apa, ntar ketemu lagi ya.
Bang, iya bang.
Iya, gua caps dulu.
Oke. Thank you, Mario.
Yo.
Thank you.
Oke, thank you guys.